that this conference is taking place, and Lady Rana knows my views on equality and women. We don't have it, is basically the fact of life. But before I start, I would like to say that the Home Secretary was to be here today and sends her good wishes. She's away on parliamentary business. But I do feel very, very proud that I do have two departments, international development and equality and women, where women and girls have been placed at the heart of what we want to ensure is going to be a world where young females, old females, females of any size, form or age can actually go ahead and achieve some potential, because until we get opportunities and access to opportunities, we're never going to be able to achieve our full potentials. I did ask Lady Rana what she'd like me to speak about, and she said, Sandy, do what you normally do, is be provocative, encourage men to think about what they do, but bigger still, let women think about what they do or don't do. And I think that is the bigger debating point, is unless we ourselves are willing to change things around us, it doesn't change. I've got 5 small points that I want to touch on, and the first one will be, of course, opportunity and access. I am as I am because of the community I was brought up in. I'm a Punjabi Sikh, born in Amritsar, came to this country at the age of 9 months. I had a father who was a customs officer, typical Sikh man who thought that a girl's place was to be in the home, and then after that be a wife and a good mother. And I think I am all of those things, but more. Because I saw around me some wonderful women who could do so much, but were unable to because of the communities and societies that we allow to happen, to be built up around us. And throughout my youth, I was a rebel and I battled with my father. But you know, the great thing was my father loved a challenge and so did I. And we always wanted to know which one would outdo the other. And my father passed away 3 years ago, and do I miss him? Because I can tell you, you do need a sounding board every time you want to raise a challenge. And my dad was it. And I was inspired by the greatest woman in my life, and that was my mother, who came to this country aged 19 and a half, with a baby in tow, couldn't speak English, and decided that she was going to be part of the community she lived in, but what she was going to reject was all the things that had held her back as a little girl in Punjab. Now, my colleague, Lord Desai, said that a lot of feticides go on in the great state of Punjab, and we really do need to ask ourselves, with huge populations having transcended across the globe, why do we still have this issue going on? Surely, when we go back, we must challenge what goes on. We must ask people, why is it that the ratio of girls to boys is so out of kilter that they will end up bringing girls in from outside, which I'm sure they don't want to do. And then, of course, there is, on the other extreme, the issue of widowhood. My God, I do get depressed even today when we look at how we treat normal human beings just because they've had the misfortune to become a widow. I cannot believe how society suddenly becomes an ogre, a monster against human beings who suddenly find themselves actually being punished over and over again for something they have absolutely no control over. So again, it's something that, Lady Rana, I hope your conference, I hope GOPIO women will be able to discuss, debate and raise at every level, because it's really, really important that we do tackle these issues head on. And then I come further down to representation, and again my colleague Lord Desai touched on it. Representation within civic life or political life is not good enough. If I've got to where I've got, it's been because there's been a huge battle that I've had to climb. It's been a mountain to climb. And the biggest perpetrators of my being pulled back was not often the host community, but people from my own community. And I would like to say to you, if you are wanting to do something and can't do it yourself, at least for goodness sake, support people who can, who want to make a difference, not just to their lives, but to the lives of people around them. Let us not, there are enough obstacles, we don't need to create more. And therefore, please, let's get more representation. If we want to change society, we cannot change it unless we've got people, women, girls at the heart of decision making. So they have to be in the boardroom, and I've got some wonderful examples sitting in this room today. I've got my friend Asha Kemkar, who's the first woman of Indian origin to be the principal of one of the largest colleges in this country. She's done it by her guts, will, self-belief. That is the sort of things that we can achieve if we support people. And I'm sure Asha would have had the same difficulties as most of us have faced. And I think the thing we've got to remember is, unless we are in the middle of civic life, political life, we have no influence on the direction of policymakers. And therefore, I encourage you, men, please, do not see it as a threat, but see it as an asset. Because society will be a much calmer, gentler, human place if you have a good balance amongst all your political civic bodies. And then I just want to touch on two issues that are very serious. One is about forced marriage and honour killings. And the second one, of course, is about our own discriminations. We discriminate ourselves against people who are darker than us,